Hi, I'm Megan Segura.
And I'm Rachel Roberts.
And this is The Daily Dish, Bravo's official podcast. You had a good morning. Mm-hmm. We had a very Rockefeller Center-esque event today. NBC will put on a skate day for all the employees. And so, like, they serve you breakfast. They shut down the Rockefeller Center ice skating rink to the public so that everyone that works here kind of gets a chance to skate around. And it's always like a strange winter wonderland theme, which is strange to me because it's almost May.
I was going to say, like, noting today, if you're listening in the future, that it is April 12th.
Yeah. So I don't skate, but I saw Rachel whipping around that rink as I ate breakfast.
It's my favorite day of the year.
And they had a giant St. Bernard dog inside the restaurant where they were holding this. And
Have you ever seen one in person?
Yes. I see them on the street, and I'm always like...
I'm so sorry, everyone. I'm dying of a sinus infection.
And yet she chose to launch herself onto the ice.
Yeah, I know. Well, I thought I was feeling better, and it just is progressively throughout the day, like...
getting worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a wisdom tooth coming in, so I am teething.
So we're just a barrel of laughs here at the Daily Dish.
But yeah, no, I have seen them. I always want one, but at the same time, I can tell that in New York, you should not have one because in New York, dogs are forced to walk unless they're small enough you can pick them up. And St. Bernards, if they don't want to walk, they don't have to. They just lay down and there's nothing you can do because they are so big.
They're 150 pounds.
Yeah. Like, so if you're not The Rock, you're not picking this dog up.
Right. It was so, I couldn't believe how big it was. Its head was like my whole body.
So when I checked myself in to get into this event, I said, wait, why is there a St. Bernard here? And the woman goes, it's a winter wonderland theme.
Oh my God.
And I was like, that doesn't really explain it.
I want to highlight a highlight for me.
Okay.
Did you see the Carolers?
Yeah. Well, not carolers. It was an a cappella group.
Okay, well, I don't know what the official term is in a winter wonderland for an a cappella group. Did they sing to you?
Yes.
Did they come to your table?
They didn't come right up to our table, but they stood at an awkward, we were in a corner, so there was an awkward, like, just group singing near us, but, like, no one else was there.
No, we were at the table. They came up to us and they were like, do you want a song? And we were like, does it, because they were singing, like, Christmas carols. And we
See,
were like,
what I heard is they were singing things from, like, Pitch Perfect.
They sang, I've got sunshine on it. What is that
My
song?
Girl.
They sang My Girl. So we were like, maybe something like spring-like, since it's not winter.
Right.
But it was like, we were at a table of 4 in a booth, and these 3 people just singing at you. It was
Like a mariachi band.
It was so weird.
I feel like this is a good time to maybe tell fans you used to be part of an a cappella group.
Yes. Well, the moment I heard the I was like, oh, it's bringing me back.
What was your group called?
We were called, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. There's a whole thing to this, okay, though, because I went to UC San Diego, and our mascot, I couldn't think of their mascot, is a Triton.
Like this. Like
Not just the thing, it's like the man.
Okay.
The person.
The
Triton.
merman with the
The
Triton.
merman
yeah.
with the Triton. Mm-hmm. So I did not make this up. It was just a group that I got into.
I'm not judging.
We were called DOTS, which is Daughters of Triton. Like in the movie. It's bad. But there were 3 groups, and you auditioned for all of them at the same. It's very Pitch Perfect.
There were 3 a cappella groups?
Yeah, man, it's really cool.
Were you in the cool a cappella
I was
group?
in the not cool.
Were you in
I was in the Bellas. I was in the Barton Bellas, essentially. We were the only female group.
Were you in the slutty a cappella group?
No, I was not.
Wait, how many? At my college, there were minimum 7, probably closer to 10.
Yeah,
What?
there was like 4, I want to say.
I'm pretty sure Stephen F. Austin in East Texas did not have
We're going to get so many
group.
tweets.
I
Be
know,
like, how did you not attend the annual sing-a-thon for spring?
But I will say one day, Rachel was like totally not embarrassed to be like, to
You want
show.
to go watch?
So she sent me some YouTube links, and now I'm pleading with you to share them on Twitter.
Oh my God, I am not going to do that. Why did I mention the singers? Why
We'll
did I
link them in the
mention
episode notes below.
you, Grace. We will not be doing that. Whatever, it's cool. I'm just jealous. So yeah, that was this week at Bravo.
So this is our first regular Thursday back as a trio. It feels good.
It does feel
Feels
good.
right.
Yeah. I feel like a part of me was missing. Now it's back. We're going to be talking about Vanderpump Rules, The Real Housewives of New York, and The Real Housewives of Atlanta Part 2 reunion. But I have a super big bone to pick with Megan.
Oh.
Because apparently I go out of town, and that's when all of the Roning women, who, by the way, live in this f***ing city, not 30 blocks north of here, come in to talk to you.
Yeah, no, I did not have control over this. I did not ask for it. But yes, they all kind of rolled through on premiere day, and you weren't here. And I felt guilty because I was like, oh, a trove of treasures is like coming through the office.
It's true.
It was good. They are always just, I don't know. They are just who you see on TV.
Right. They're the most who you see. 'Cause I feel like
Yes.
some nights people come through and you're like, oh. Or like, oh, I see this new side of you.
Yes.
Or I don't know. But they're exactly who they are.
Exactly. But today we'll share my interview with Luann de Lesseps.
Ooh.
Countess.
The Countess. And friends, hashtag. But before we get into that, we want to announce our Watch What Happens Live winner.
Yes.
We haven't yet.
I mean, we've told
As many
her
fans have astutely
privately.
pointed out.
We've told her privately, but then we're like, hey, should we tell everyone else?
Yes.
Oh, do you want pull up her name?
Grace is like, hey, do you guys want to do this? And we're like, yeah, we're so excited.
Oh, wait, you want to
You want to say your name and like,
Okay.
okay, whatever.
Pulling up the email.
So Katie Connolly, congratulations!
You
have
want to watch what
won.
happens live.
We're going to Disneyland. Like
This
it's a
is
Super
kind
Bowl.
of better. I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Much better. There's alcohol here. I guess there's alcohol at Disney World.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And she's bringing a friend.
right for the birthday.
And her friend's name's Megan, I think.
She wrote to our friend Erica, who helped put this all together. Shout out Erica Berger. This is so great because I just totally messed up my friend's birthday, and this will totally make up for it, which I thought was cute.
But for anyone who entered and didn't win, here's the thing. Keep listening. Keep being a fan. Who knows when and what we'll announce later.
Absolutely. I'm just imagining like
This is really just an empty promise to keep you guys engaged.
No,
I'm imagining
no.
looking at our numbers of the episode after this, and it's like,
No, we've got a lot of fun stuff planned for the future.
let's talk about that crazy episode of Vanderpump Rules.
Right.
It's been so long. I missed like 3 episodes. So I was gone a week, and yet I was like, I haven't seen anything. What's going on?
Okay. So as I've said before, I think in the last episode, that I knew everything that was going to happen this season on Vanderpump Rules. However, I did not get the memo that Jax was going to be breaking up with Brittany.
You didn't know?
No.
I knew. How did I know? Did I interview Brittany on my own? I must have. You weren't even here, Grace. It was
I don't
Molly.
remember.
I somehow knew this, so then I asked her about it.
I will say that I got super early cuts because I was working on the Vanderpump after show.
Did you tell me?
I might have told you.
Well,
And
you
then-
told us right before we watched the episode, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
I thought maybe it was a fake out, like, oh, I'm going to break up with you. Never mind.
I must have told you before the Brittany interview.
Right, because I was like, what happened in between? Were you not together? Did you talk to Adam? Like, what's up?
Okay, so as I was saying, didn't realize that was happening. So we get to the part of the episode, and we watch our episodes on this program called Fine Cut, and it's kind of where...
Don't give away the industry
I
secrets.
know, I mean, it's not like you could
People
just
are going to
go
be like
and get to it.
www.finecut/Megan Segura.
And sometimes it's like the what's the like spinning wheel of death? Yeah, the
Yeah,
buffer.
yeah.
Okay, so I get to the part where Jack says,
I just don't think we can be together anymore.
"Pause." Spinning wheel of death. Nothing I can do, and I'm like, refresh. So then it plays. Brittany says,
You don't want to be together anymore?
pause.
Oh my God.
It was
just download it.
No, it was
Just
the worst
download it.
experience because it's like, what's happening?
Oh my God.
I was shocked.
I almost am like bummed that I knew because I was just like, the whole episode I was like, when is it going to happen? When is it going to? Because I knew it was this episode. I knew it was going to be at the end probably, but.
What do you think was happening in his mind?
I think I'm going to controversial statements perhaps. I actually think he's doing the right thing. I think that Brittany's going to stand by him. He knows he's not good to her. Frickin' Kelsey, Reiki master, actually speaking the truth, saying you're mean to her because you want her to walk away. You're not strong enough to walk away from her. And I completely think that's true.
The reason you're being mean to her is because you don't want to have to be the one to walk away.
You think I want her to leave me first?
She deserves to have your truth so that she can then find the person who's going to treat her like a princess.
I think that he realizes he's not good to her and he doesn't know how to stop and he needs to be by himself to maybe figure that out. So I actually think that like he's doing the right thing, which like, but I could not imagine being Brittany after all of that and then he's choosing to walk away.
So what went through my mind is I know that lots of people have said it, even Jennifer Lawrence said it on Watch What Happens Live, that Jax is clearly having sex with Kelsey, the Reiki master. This was the first time where I was like, maybe that's what's happening.
No.
Only because of Kelsey being like, you're not being fair to Brittany. Like, it just made me think, oh my God.
That's so weird because I had the opposite.
Yeah.
I was like, I felt like she was being really...
And maybe she
I don't
is. Maybe I've been influenced by outside opinions, but...
J-Law's gotten in your brain.
I know, but just because I did think... I mean, I see what you're saying, 1,000%. But at the same time, she went through the heartache of the faith thing and him being like, please don't leave me, I'll get better. And her, like, doing what is the hardest thing is to, like, heal yourself.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, wait, I'm going to dump you now.
I think that it's going to sound so cliche, but unfortunately, like, life doesn't happen on, like, the timelines we all wish that they did. Like, I think he actually, like, had a mental breakdown at SUR and kind of, like, had a moment of, like, oh, my God, like, I'm not doing well and I'm hurting people and I can't keep doing this. I really think he had, like, I think he's doing the best thing. And, like, clearly they took a break and now they're better than ever. And that's according to, like, everyone.
Yeah.
I think it all gets complicated, too, because his dad passed. So, like...
but so, again, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I
You
don't
know I love Jax. Well, then I just have to say he better marry her now.
I know.
I thought
Well, she talks about where she wants to get married, too.
Oh,
She
I
knows
know
exactly
this.
where.
Yes.
It's like they call it... Not Versailles, but they call it Versailles.
I looked it up because I think she says it in an episode, and so I Googled it. It looks very beautiful.
Yeah, we checked out their Instagram when she was here. She had never been to, like, their website.
Oh.
So we, like, went on it together. It was very surreal.
A moment that I thought was really telling was Stassi saying to Brittany at the Pucker and Pout party, if you got married, I don't think I could attend.
I'm obviously still on your side. I know. I just don't know if you guys got married, if I could attend the wedding. I don't think I'd be capable of it.
And I thought in that moment she wasn't being mean or bitchy or anything except that no, Brittany, this is how much I don't think he's the right guy for you.
Right.
And you've chosen the one man that every single one of us thinks is the worst man. So it made me get emotional. I don't want you to be emotional. I want you to recognize your worth.
But also, Stassi.
Patrick.
I wrote, ew, Patrick.
It's just like, I just know that feeling of you have such a relationship with someone and you're in love with them, but then you the way he talked to her, even about I was so excited about this event planning, and I did a vision board. And he's like, "Oh, knew it." He's just so condescending to her and speaking so badly to her that you're just like, And when she was talking about him mansplaining,
Patrick can be a little bit of a mansplainer. When he tells me things that I already know, like, I know.
We are 4 years into a relationship, but the bottom line is we're very different people. We just have to find a happy medium.
If you know that.
yeah, but it's like, it's almost like, I get what she's doing. It's like you forgive the behavior because you're like, but that's not really you or what we have. I'm just happy that she has moved on, and her new boyfriend seem like super happy.
Yeah.
And he's like a weirdo too, it seems. So excellent. But don't you think that Jax was like more honest than you've ever seen him when they were breaking up? Like, I feel like he just was like, he didn't even want to be doing it. It was just like, I don't know what else to do. You know, like I keep, this isn't good. I don't know. I just felt, and he's never done that. Never. He's never put somebody else before what he wants.
Is this putting someone else before what he wants, though? Or is this...
I think that he would have her be by his side forever.
I just want them to stay together, but him to treat her well.
Right, like, is that too much
Is
to ask?
that asking too much?
In Vanderpump Rules, maybe it is. But I did want our title of the episode to be, "Yes, you did, dumbass." It's like my favorite thing that happened in this episode.
Yes, you did, dumbass.
So let's move on to Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion part 2. So we almost had a reunion, baby.
I know. I just like, Eva, take one for the team.
Come on.
Come on.
Yeah, contracting every 10 minutes. That's crazy.
I know.
And the fact that she's just like,
This is cool. I'm going to keep talking about Missy Elliott.
yeah. But I loved the Married to Medicine crossover with her
my
face
God.
timing Dr. Jackie.
Oh, my God. I know.
Hey, Dr. Jackie, I don't feel nowhere how I look. I'm contracting. I don't feel good. I just want your advice.
You're the judge, but I would say if you're contracting 10 minutes or less apart for more than an hour and they're painful, you gotta come in. Drink plenty of fluids, though, and stay off your feet.
I will.
Respond, don't react. You know, woosah.
Woosah. Okay.
We're not trying to have a baby, okay?
No, we not.
Celebrity, OBGYN,
Yeah.
only the best. But the real meat and potatoes.
It's so funny you just said that.
Why?
Let me pull up a direct message I got on Instagram today.
Uh-oh. Is there meat next to some potatoes?
This is from H. Grace Hill. Megan, sorry to slide into your DMs, but I'm also not sorry because I'm like your #1 fan. Love the podcast, love you, love your Insta stories. But now to the real meat and potatoes.
Oh.
Like clearly trying to make a joke because we always say it.
Oh, do we?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Maybe it's you that
Maybe
always says
I always
it,
say
right?
it.
Someone definitely does.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I never noticed.
But then she goes on to talk about Chloe and Tristan because she knew how devastated I
Oh,
was. So
I'm sorry.
Anyway, thanks, H. Hill.
That's so funny. Thank you for teaching me something about myself that I didn't know.
Yes.
But the meat and potatoes of the episode, Kim Zolciak Bierman.
Okay, how shady was Andy when he was like, what's the end game with your lips?
Your lips are considerably bigger.
Yeah.
Yes. What's the end game on the lips?
Just depends on how I'm feeling for the moment.
Okay.
But also,
Kim
like,
is a beautiful flower, but like,
Well-
it's gotten to a point because even when they did flashbacks in the episode, I don't know if she's like extra contouring for the reunion or something, but like it is like a different level now.
so someone tweeted like one of those faces she makes, you know, like the, yeah. And someone tweeted, laughing my ass off, Kim Zolciak got all that work done to look like this. And she tweeted, I'm clearly making a face and I can't have work done, sweetie. I'm on heavy blood thinner and have been since my stroke. Maybe try putting some positivity in this world, she said works, rather than trying to make someone feel bad. Okay, so at first I read that as I'm on blood thinners, that's why I look like this, and I was like, that's weird. But now I get it. She's saying it's not possible.
She hasn't had any work done because she can't because she's on blood thinners.
But also, I think housewives are really guilty of being like, I haven't had any work done because they're thinking, well, yeah, I do Botox and fillers, and it's like, is that not what are we constituting as work?
Right. And like, when was her stroke? Like 2 years ago?
Something like that.
Even in the last few years, Andy has kind of been like, come on, Kim, let's look at your nose now and look at your nose then.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, contouring.
Yeah.
10 years later? Time flies, right?
It really does.
You look younger today than you did 10 years ago.
Well, I mean, I think that has a lot to do with makeup.
Which I don't get because she has on camera
done tummy tucks, boob job.
I don't get why like, at the neck it's like nope.
Yeah,
like
so
because she's
weird.
so like open about all of her surgeries.
Right.
I don't understand it.
It doesn't make sense.
But again, I'm sure it's just contouring.
Right.
What did you think of her entering without her shoes on, the whole rigmarole?
Solo cup.
The solo cup. Like, oh, I'm not ready for all of you. Let me get my slippers off.
Hi, Kim.
Andy Cohen, hi.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Carrying your shoes?
Yeah, I can't do it.
Wow, look at that figure. Great to see you. Have a seat.
Sure thing.
You got your solo cup?
Is that okay?
Sure.
I gotta swap my slippers out if you don't mind.
I honestly was like, does she not know they're filming this? That's what I thought. I thought maybe she thinks they go to commercial break and they come back and she's sitting there.
Oh, so she thought it was just like, but he was talking to her and asking her like, Kim, thank you for being here today.
I don't know.
It just was like, I can totally see why this all escalated into like, you're sitting over there like a fan from Candy because she walked in as if like, oh, I'm on your little show now. You know, like, oh, I guess I'll come on and like talk about your show. Like you're welcome for me being here today.
Right.
And you sit there like a f***ing fan, and you over there making judgments at me.
So I'm gonna let you talk because you're embarrassing yourself.
Did you watch it without bleeps?
Yes.
I don't know what
I
it
think
is
they
about
use the
Nene
F word
Leakes.
more than any other franchise.
Nene Leakes using is like, I wish you all could hear it because no one spins that yarn quite like Nene.
Right.
She's like, when she's like, you're a it's like so good. It's so good. Speaking of Kim, Candy Instagrammed, I want to say the night of the reunion because I guess Kim was tweeting about how like she has a super successful. I'll let Candy speak. Okay, so Wig again, she's already going there. So Wig apparently watches the show but doesn't keep up with the ratings. I see that she's posting fake news that I had 3 failed spinoffs. ... Bish where? I've had the highest rated spinoffs with my specials. I Googled it for you in case you need proof. Hashtag no cap, hashtag all facts. And then she like lists out like each debut of her spinoffs. Candy's Wedding, 2.4 million. Candy's Ski Trip, 1.57 million. And then hers is Tardy's original debut of 1.3. It's just like, and then she like screen grabbed like articles about it.
Wow.
On her Instagram.
She brought the receipts.
She did. But Kim doesn't even, it's like, I love Kim, and you kind of saw it here. It's like, it doesn't even matter if there's receipts. They'll show her footage of being like, I saw you in the handicap spot. And she's like, I never said I saw her. It doesn't matter.
Exactly, because Andy will be like, Kim, here is a before and here is an after of what you look like. And she'll be like, nope.
I don't see it. Yeah, it's just like, I wish to live in Kim Zolciak's world of just like, no. Mm-mm.
I just know that I can't wait for part 3. I've already asked for access and haven't gotten it yet.
I will work on that access.
But before we go away, Grace, I have a question for you.
Okay.
You could date a billionaire, sleep with him on the reg.
Okay.
You would, in that relationship, let's say it's 2 years, accrue a certain amount of money that you then make smart investments and sets you up for life.
Okay.
But he's 90. Would you do it?
How often do we have to have sex?
It's at his leisure.
Oh, God.
And he takes Viagra.
He's a little horn dog. And it sets me up for life.
For life.
For 2 years of work.
1 year.
1 year? Oh, okay. I don't think I would do it. Like,
Shut
I
up.
want to say that I would, but I don't think that I would.
What if he's 70? Now we're talking.
Yeah.
I mean, the details are fuzzy. The only reason I bring it up is this whole thing about Marlo came up, and Kenya was like, you're a prostitute. And she's like, I'm not. And Andy's like, well, Marlo, how do you make your money? And she was like, I dated a billionaire and I invested wisely.
Hold on. Marlo, what is your job?
I dated a billionaire. Big pen.
Was it Ted Turner?
No, I'm not. I don't tell all my tea now.
Is that tea on that
She
card?
knows that, a billionaire.
No, I just came up with that.
I invested well. I have several businesses.
Those are the only details. I'm completely making up the Viagra, the age, and all of that.
65, yes, no question. But as we start to get older than that, it starts to feel predatory. I don't know. I don't want to take advantage of anyone.
I mean, I think they'd be taking advantage of you, maybe, but I don't know.
That's the beauty of it. Maybe it would be a perfectly balanced relationship. Would you?
Totally.
90.
For 1 year is not terrible. And to set you up for life?
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty cool.
You could just travel. You just go to Indonesia every week.
Yeah. I don't recommend Indonesia.
You're like, spend your money in wiser ways.
Yeah. I mean, but it also, you do have to make smart investments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something to think about.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you meet any billionaires,
yes,
I'll prepare myself.
All right, let's get into Real Housewives of New York. Roni. All right, here's my first question for maybe the production company. Couldn't get Sonia a car to the Hamptons? Made her ride
I just want
the
to say,
jitney like a plebe.
Thank God they did that, because it's my Rose. The entire montage of her bumbling down the street with these roses, getting on the Hamptons jitney, just like Sex and the City. And being like, oh, it's so luxurious on the jitney.
All I have to do is walk 2 blocks from my house. I get on the jitney. It's so relaxing to get on the bus, not have to drive. One of my girlfriends met her husband on the jitney, by the way. It's a high-class way to travel.
To me, no one goes from looking like a 20-year-old, because I think sometimes she looks so good, to looking like an 80-year-old.
Like a bag lady.
Yeah, where she just, it's like she's struggling with the luggage and the I don't know. And sometimes the way she wears her glasses.
Right.
But yeah, it's funny.
Oh, so amazing. I also just want to shout out to the production company. God bless you for a Ramona unpacking montage.
All these shoes you'll take out and put them on the shelf. Oh, here's the other shoe. Okay, fine. If you could just line them up on the bottom. I think I brought 8 pairs of shoes. This is my music. Can you plug this in for me somewhere?
Yes.
Oh my God, it made me so, every time, it doesn't matter how long she does it, but when Ramona's ordering around this artist who's just there to make a buck off of his art.
What do you want this? Well, you know what? Can I be really brazen and ask for a huge favor? Sure. Can you help me take it upstairs in my closet?
Absolutely.
These actually go in the different rooms. In fact, wait, do you feel like helping me?
Sure.
Her ordering him around with the TV and the luggage. Right.
Oh, do you want to do a favor for me?
It makes me so mad.
Oh my God. No, it makes me super happy. I just I couldn't imagine being and then she says things like, I bet you didn't know you'd be working this hard today, or something. You're like, oh my God, it's not charming, Ramona. It's you're making these people
Here's why I didn't like it. Because first of all, you're taking advantage of someone's kindness. Someone doesn't want to be rude and be like, no.
Right.
And also, he's in an uncomfortable situation where he's asking
you to buy his art.
So he has to do basically whatever.
I couldn't tell if it was the artist there, if those were just the movers of the art.
No, I think it's one of the artists.
Oh God, Ramona. Never change.
Bethany arriving early at her birthday dinner. What did that remind you of?
Of course, Carrie, alone.
Sex and the City.
Yeah. Most of the time, I find Bethany to be a bit aggressive in situations where I'm like, I don't know. Did you need to get that upset? But I actually think that it's Carol being cold.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. No, I agree with you. Because even if Carol, even if the details weren't exactly correct, clearly there's a pattern where people feel like she ignores them, and she should have just owned up to that or made a joke of it and not been like, no, this is what happened, because then it just got awkward.
It got so awkward.
Yeah.
And it got, especially, and Bethany's not, you could tell she wasn't trying to do anything. I just thought it was so strange.
It's very difficult for Carol to take criticism. If you say something to Carol, her fur gets up completely, where you might just be making a comment. It's okay, we're not saying you killed our firstborn.
So I'm just correcting. I'm not being defensive. I'm just correcting everyone.
I am really curious to get to the point where we find out what's happening, because
You think there's something more, or you think it's not just
No,
like
I think
a
there's something more
friend's
because Bethany
distancing?
There was a quote from her. I don't know if it was an interview or on Twitter, but she said, "I'm an idealistic person, and I think people are better than they are," and like something like Carol showed her true colors to me.
Because the whole episode she kept saying Carol needs a buddy. They need them to be very close to her.
Yeah.
And if they can't be, then she kind of just like lets them go. So
Yeah.
right now she has Tinsley, and she's her new buddy.
I understand if Carol wants to stay with Tinsley at Topping Rose. I'm sitting with my daughter at my house. Carol likes to have a best friend really close to her at all times. Now it's Tinsley. They're, thick as thieves.
But it's like very like, and that's fine. It's all kosher. But like,
Also,
I
I
don't think
found
it
it
is.
interesting. They had two different accounts of the staying in the Hamptons. Carol said Bethany couldn't have me because she had a full house, and Bethany's like, I get it. I mean, I had my daughter over.
I know,
so
so
she
I-
didn't want to come.
I wonder like what's gonna happen when they watch this episode. Like, do they even know that Carol was telling people this
I don't
versus
know.
what Bethany said? I just feel like it's not gonna go well. Also, that moment when Bethany came to brunch the next day and she was like, "I'm gonna go to the bathroom, not that anybody cares."
All right, I'm gonna use the restroom. Not that anyone cares because no one's paying any attention to me.
But they weren't mature.
I'm not sure Carol's as excited to see me as she used to be. I mean, Tinsley is Carol's new best friend, so I'm definitely not Carol's +1 right now.
Well, it was weird. Like, I'm sorry, but even if you just saw each other the day before, to be like, hey, glad you're here. Like,
yeah, to be like, hey,
acknowledging that someone walked in the door.
I don't know. I felt like they did, but like then they just went right back into their conversation
Yeah.
as opposed to like trying to include her.
Right.
It was interesting. But of course we're vamping. I'm gonna say meat and potatoes again.
Do it. H. Hill would like it.
Yeah. To the real meat and potatoes of this episode. Dorinda.
Yes.
Oh my god. Okay, so I just want to say where my head was at watching this episode. When I saw the flash of them at brunch at Luann's, I was like, I know those outfits from the Super Tease. I was like, this is when the blow up happens. This is when the don't compare your marriage to my husband dying.
Yeah.
Happens.
Richard, your husband left you, and my husband died.
My husband didn't
Yes,
leave me.
he
I left
did,
my
because
husband.
people were f***ing around. So don't you dare compare your f***ing marriage to me marrying my husband.
But it was such an interesting road to that point.
I mean-
because it got to like the last minute and I was like, they're fine. Like they're even gonna like have a truce to like move forward and make up.
Just as you were saying, like, oh, strangely, I sided with, Bethany in this. That's how I felt like where I was like, Dorinda, I think you're reaching a little.
I think though, like
It's
the
just been
moment,
building up.
I think there's that. I think the moment you talk about Richard, you're just not gonna get a good reaction.
But she didn't bring it up. Sonia didn't bring it up. Dorinda did. She said, stop talking about her tragedy. I buried a husband. And that's when Sonia was like, well, we've heard that a million times too.
Because you know I'm sensitive to your
Well, listen, you've been through a lot, my love, and you.
Oh, stop with this baloney. I buried a husband, okay?
Oh, we've heard that 1,000 times too.
Yeah, but I think it's like you can talk about your family.
No,
but
totally.
Other people can't.
But I was like, Dorinda was already there, it felt like. And then the husband, of course, don't mention Richard.
But like, and maybe this is my lack of knowledge, but like, I gleaned so much information.
So even writing the copy for this, because it's a preview
God, what do you
clip,
say?
Because I was like, she gave us information about Sonia's marriage, but I was like, it could not be true.
Right, it's like rumors or
So I
like
was
whatever.
Drop some bombshells.
Yeah,
like,
that's good.
That's what I chose. Thank
Good
you.
job, good job.
Because is that true? Did who messed around on
No,
who?
she was saying the reason your marriage, there were so many things. Number one, she was like, my husband died, your marriage ended because there was like f***ing around.
Because he left you.
Because he left you because you were running around the south of France.
Yes.
F***ing other people, essentially.
Yeah.
So like you f***ed up your own marriage in that way.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because you were f***ing around the south of France. And he married your friend, honey. You ass.
And he married her best friend? Did that happen?
It's crazy.
Is that true?
I don't know. Because, like, I'm just like, well, I don't want to jump to conclusions. Like, because maybe Dorinda and her have never been friends. They've been like in the
No.
same circle. So maybe Dorinda doesn't know. Because even the look on Ramona's face was like, where are you going with this? Like she didn't quite, I don't know.
It was just, I mean, I think that it's one of those things that, like, when you're in a level of society and there are rumors swirling around, and, like, that's probably, like, the story that's out there. In the way that they all know that you shouldn't buy a home on the Hamptons Highway.
Oh, God, don't say that. She'll come for us.
I'm just kidding, Bethany. But invite me, please. I want to see it.
Wait, I meant to ask last week so there's some brunch where Sonia is talking about renting out the townhouse, and she says, I talked to JPM.
Yeah.
Did she mean the bank or the person?
No, she meant the person.
I wrestled with the idea the last 10 years, should I sell the house, should I keep the house? And finally I realized the best thing to do, I spoke to JPM, and they really said that it's my greatest asset, it'll only go up, I should rent.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That was crazy. And it reminded me of, and Candy said this during the first reunion of Atlanta, because she was like, there's all things that we know about each other that we decide to just not say on camera.
Right.
And I think that's probably one of the Sonia things that we don't say. Like, I think that's probably the rumor and the tea that's out there about Sonia that, like, we all just know, but we're not going to say it.
I'm
And
glad
it's
you
like-
brought that up because I was happy they kept that in the reunion, Candy talking about that.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I think that, like, fans know that on some level, but we've never heard it addressed in such a clear way of, like, there are some things you don't say on camera because it's different. It's a different level of shade or a different level of, like, insulting.
Right. And or even just a different level of, like, privacy.
Yes,
and,
totally.
like,
It makes you think, like, what are the things people could say about you on camera that would be, like, devastating? Grace?
tweet us.
Why do you look at me?
I don't know.
Because I keep all the secrets.
Yeah, the bone collector.
The bone.
Bone carrier. So that was insane, and it's to be continued.
To be continued.
Also, remember how Dorinda was like the one in the car being like, we're not going to go crazy. We're just going to talk to her like a normal human.
Well, no, I'm going to talk to her, but I don't want to just go right up to her face and start something.
don't. Of course, you're not gonna walk right in and be like,
Yeah.
Don't do a Dorinda.
"Right, this is gonna be a fun weekend."
I will say, though, I wish Sonia would get on Dorinda's level of anger when Dorinda is yelling at Sonia. Because Sonia takes it in such a calm way that makes me uncomfortable, where I'm like, no, Sonia, we've seen you go off before. Go off in this moment. Don't let someone go at you so hard. You know what I mean? Like, she is saying private things about your life. This is a time to be upset.
It's almost like this, though, like, Sonia, I don't think has any shame.
Yeah.
You know?
Which is, yeah.
It happens.
Yeah.
You know, when, like, they were like, he was married about Luann's guy and...
Yeah.
In Turks and Caicos, you know, like she's just kind of like, this is my life, this is what happened, whatever. So like, I don't know, but yeah, having someone that aggressive in your face.
Yeah.
What happened last year when she did that to Sonia? Holland Tunnel.
She did the same thing. She just sat there and kind of smiled
Took
and
it.
laughed. The only time I think I've really seen Sonia lose it was in Turks and Caicos when it was right before Eggs a la France. But she was like, "Oh, you bitches!"
Oh yeah, how could I forget all you bitches?
Nice doesn't work with you people. Nice doesn't work. I'm not under attack. I'm attacking you bitches. I'm sick of being nice to all you.
But I respect Sonia for not, like, coming back in kind. Like, I'm sure...
It does make the other person look like they've lost control when you're
Right.
able to stay so
But I
calm.
wonder if later in the season, like, we will get the equivalent Dorinda secret, if there is one.
Oh, like you think Sonia's holding something about Dorinda?
I mean, if everybody's got skeletons.
Ooh, well, I feel like Sonia would have said it. Like Sonia's going around saying whatever. Like that's her thing. But now let's get into that interview you did with Luann.
We talked about how she's still friends with Jacques, why she may never get to that point with Tom, and the craziest celebrity who is a fan of hers. Who is it? Hint, she works out next to Aaron every single day.
Ooh. I think you've mentioned it on the podcast before, but I don't remember who you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't remember either, but I know other things that happen at the gym for Aaron.
If you're not following Megan on Instagram stories,
you missed it.
You missed it.
We are here with Luann de Lesseps.
Yes.
Thank you for being here.
Hashtag Countess and Friends.
Yes. Here for season 10. I can't believe it.
I know, right?
Does it feel like 10 years to you?
It does. Totally. Totally. Only because, and I was talking about this earlier, you know, you see my children grow up.
Yeah, that's
true. You know, through the years. And I was talking about Aston today. Now, Aston's going to be 12.
Wow.
Right? And so you see him coming home as a puppy.
That's right. I
Right?
remember
And now
that.
I'm stuck with Aston, which I'm so happy I am, because Noelle, of course, is living in Brooklyn and doesn't have time to take his doggy out. And now he's mine, which I'm so happy to have company.
Right. I want to talk about your tagline. The most interesting people make the best headlines.
Is that what my tagline is?
Yes.
I thought it was from headlines to headliner, life is a cabaret.
Oh, I think
I think you're wrong. What? I did say it twice, and then I said I wanted to use the other one. What's the tagline?
The most interesting people make the best headlines. I loved it.
Do you love it?
I loved it.
Okay, whatever.
We all listened to the taglines and we were like, oh, Luann's is our favorite.
No, okay, if you say so.
Yeah.
I wonder why they didn't use that. Oh, I think I might know why they didn't use it. Okay, let's hope it's the reason, I think.
But yeah, I just wanted to, what was the process of that? Did they give you a few options?
I just told somebody, you know what, and normally I don't, because I know that they'll use the one I don't want to use, and of course they did, once again. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Well, just know people love it. So you're having such a moment right now at the cabaret.
Yeah.
Did you, I mean, I know this has been how long has it been in the works?
I started on the cabaret in the fall. So right away as we started filming, I was doing the cabaret. So this didn't happen because I went to Florida, etc. This was always in the works for me, but I'm sure I'm much better at it, being not drinking. So
Right. Was there a moment after the events of December that you were like, should I do this?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. I mean, now I'm in rehab for I don't know how many weeks, and I'm supposed to be rehearsing in New York. So, you know, the idea of doing hashtag Countess and Friends really was born before I went, because I thought it would be cool to have different talent from different, you know, locations or venues and change up the show each time. So each time the show is different. It's never the same because talent fluctuates. You know, like Laura Benanti, who's a Tony winner, came to do the show and she's busy that night, so she can't do it. So, you know, so Rachel Dratch is coming. You know, it's been incredible how supportive and how much people wanted to see me, you know, claim my life back. And I think that they showed up for me, which is amazing. Yeah.
Sonia was just on and she said, Luann came out of rehab funnier than ever.
Yeah, I'm funnier not drinking, actually. Yeah. I see myself now on the show and I go, oh my God, I'm drunk.
Right.
Yeah. Like when I sang to Bethany. It was
right.
horrible. I was wasted. I was wasted loud. But, you know, the other thing is, you know, I was singing a cappella in a restaurant, which was loud. I have a mic on. So the mic picks up this very loud because, you know, normally in the room, it didn't sound that loud. But, of course, I had a mic on my body. So, of course, it sounded very loud.
Yeah. It's hard to tell, though. Like, I think as fans, we never really, except for in the instance of the premiere with Dorinda, you don't really know when alcohol's fueling things because you guys are so out there and you're so fun and funny all the time.
Oh,
so
thanks.
we never notice.
Well, good. I'm glad you didn't notice. I know myself, though. So looking back on the show, I'm like, oh, I had too much to drink.
Right.
I remember that night in particular. Got a little drunk.
Yeah. After December, because I mean, we talk a lot in the premiere about support after you announced your divorce from Tom.
Right.
So who has shown the most support since December?
You know, all the girls have been very supportive, I must say. You know, they could have been like, I told you so, and all that kind of stuff. And they weren't really, I mean, there were looks, which you can't get on camera right here.
Right.
But there were looks, which is, you know, kind of eye rolling. But they weren't really heavy on the I told you so bit. They were. I think that they knew that I had suffered a lot, and I don't. Even the housewives didn't want to kick a dog when it was down.
Right. That's nice.
Yeah, it was refreshing.
I know it's happened a while ago, but you met Jennifer Lawrence by request.
Yeah,
of
right.
hers on
I
Watch
know,
What Happens
I know,
Live. What
unbelievable.
was that like?
That was incredible. I mean, I knew she was a fan because I've seen her on Jimmy Fallon, and she goes, "Yeah, can you believe it? I mean, the Countess or Tom and Luann, they broke up. I mean, I'm horrified." Anyway, so I think it was when the cheating scandal happened, but. So I knew she was a fan, but I didn't realize to what magnitude. I mean, she was blown away. She was like starstruck. I mean, I couldn't believe it. It was great. And she's such a nice girl. And, what you don't see after that is that she's like helping me with my taglines. She's like, no, you can't say that. Because they wanted me to say something like, it's not about Tom, it's about tomorrow. I'm like, I'm not saying that. Can you believe it? I'm like, no, that's a no. And Jennifer's like, oh, you are not. You're not going to say that. So it's so funny. We had a think tank after the surprise, which was a lot of fun. And she's just a sweetheart. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of hers. So it was so awesome to have her, to flip that switch for me. It was like, wow.
Even watching Watch What Happens Live, it was like you and Bethany, but like her body language was all about you. And like Bethany's like,
yeah. She goes, everybody likes you. I don't know why over there. I was like, oh, funny. Yeah, it was fun.
Have there been any other like surprising celebrity fans of yours, the cabaret, the show?
Well, one day I was with Jacques and we were walking into a restaurant on the Upper West Side, and this woman jumps up from a table. She's with her children, her family. Obviously, they're sitting outside. It's like a warm day in the spring. And she comes up to me and she goes, I just wanted to say hello. I love you on the show, and, we're both NBC talent. And I'm like, holy shit, it's Tina Fey.
Ah!
I couldn't believe it. I was like, Tina. I go, I cannot believe this. She goes, yeah, I just, I said, oh, I love you. I mean, that's when she was like embroiled in 30 Rock and all that stuff. And she talks about us on 30 Rock as well. She talked about the housewives on her show. She used to talk to Alec Baldwin about us. And I know Alec from the Hamptons. And so it's a very small knit kind of little universe. But I couldn't believe, I called everybody I knew. I called my family. I called my friends. I called Tina Fey just walked up to me and said she's a fan of mine. I couldn't believe it. Isn't that insane? Yeah, it was awesome.
Well, a lot of people in the office went and saw your cabaret, and someone was like, "Oh, Jacques was there."
Yeah.
Which is so nice to see that you guys have this supportive relationship.
Yes,
Do you think you and Tom will get there?
You never know.
Yeah.
Never say never. Jacques is like my family. We're very close, and I'm friends with my first ex-husband. So hopefully I'll get there one day. Not really.
There's a look. Yeah. But any chance of you and Jacques reuniting?
No, he's got a girlfriend. Actually, his girlfriend is a good friend of someone who's in production in our show. So it's interesting.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. Small world.
Small world. So,
yes.
And he actually met her at a party that I took him to last summer in the Hamptons.
Oh.
So I was like, oh, Jacques, I see you're hanging around that girl. I'm not jealous. I'm happy for him because we're not together. We're just friends. And, our friendship will last a lifetime. I can't say the same thing if we had a relationship.
Right. I know you have to go soon, but I did want to get just finally, what can fans expect from this season?
Did you ever hear of that Iron Man competition?
Yeah.
You're going to see me struggle, but I think you'll be happy for me in the end.
Yeah. All right. Look forward to that, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being on.
So let's get into Rose and Thorn.
Okay, let's do Rose and Thorn.
Go ahead.
I think I already said my Rose and Thorn.
Yeah.
So my Rose is obviously Sonia attempting to ride the jitney. And
Yes.
just that entire scene, talking about it with luxury, having that man pick her up. It just was all so amazing.
It's a high-class way to travel.
And then my Thorn, I just think the most telling thing about anybody is if they drink from a milk carton directly, Jax. In that moment, I was like, this tells me everything I need to know.
Do you feel the same way about a milk jug?
It was a jug, which I find even more foul because it has that ring of dried milk on it.
Disgusting.
Foul.
My rose was Bethany talking about Tinsley and
I know exactly what you're gonna say, and it was so good.
Specifically talking about how she's like, Tinsley's so upset because Sonia is, calling her essentially an escort, but Tinsley's quick to be like, no, I'm a trust fund kid. And Bethany's like, is that really better?
If socialite is your moniker, being a kept woman is the next step. But she's like, no, I'm not a kept woman. I'm a trust fund kid. It's like, what's the difference?
It's like, and you see Tinsley getting so worked up, and you can see the wheels turning in Bethany's head.
Right.
Of like, I can't care about this.
Right.
Like, this is so ridiculous. You know what I've been through.
Especially when you think about Bethany, who, say whatever you will about her, she works so hard, and she works so hard for everything she has.
And even then, people are trying to say that, like, you got here on your back or whatever. So it's like she's sitting here hearing someone to be like, no, I get my money from this other thing that I don't do. You're just like, oh, you could just see Bethany, like, being like, I'm going to try really hard to care. It's amazing. But your thorn.
Again, and he's been my thorn before, but Patrick.
Oh.
F***ing Patrick.
I know.
Not into him.
The shirt this time was particularly like, I was just like, oh, you're the worst. Anyway.
Time to get into some fan shout-outs.
Fan shout-outs.
Fan shout-outs.
It's just a bird, you guys.
At TraviTrav91 says, hopefully the girls from Bravo Daily Dish know the name of the song from the Roni season 10 commercial.
Oh, I know.
I'm desperate to find this song. I listened to it. Like, I can't tell you, Travi, how many times I listened. I spent like a good 30 minutes at
Did you Google
6
the
a.m.
lyrics?
I Googled the
Me
lyrics.
too.
Still
Couldn't
nothing
find
came
it.
up.
I was going to email Quest because he makes
I was
those.
too. And then I was like,
is that
should
too
I-
much?
Should I bother this man who works so hard
I know.
on promos to be like, hey, what was that song?
But maybe you're just like, I really like it.
But instead, I found like that Britney Spears song she did for Smurfs.
I didn't know one existed.
You're my ooh la la. And now I have it stuck in my head all day. So you can play that snippet, Grace. I'll pay the $5 for that snippet.
I know the guy who does the music clearances.
Oh, ask him.
I'm going to email him.
Okay.
Okay, so maybe we have an answer for you.
Yeah.
But thank you all for always giving us so much love. You can always reach me. Grace was like working me through that for some reason. She was like head nodding.
I think
me.
she's also waiting for you to do a fan shout out, but you just have to pee really bad.
Yeah.
So you're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I
I'm
have
like,
to
no,
end
I
this.
have to go. I have to go. I'm like, I've just been drinking so much water because I'm sick. So like, and like,
Oh my
all
God,
the
she's
pills are, like,
shaking.
I have to pee so bad.
Just say your Twitter handle.
My Twitter handle is @RachelRob, and my Instagram is @suspiciously small.
And I'm at Meg Sakura on both. Bye.
Bye.
I got my girls with me, with the boys at the table getting tipsy. Miss me, kiss me.
Great, and that's it.
Yay.